They have the prettiest office around, but we know lobstermen work hard for a living.
They sure do. And in the summer, they're forced to take one day off each week. And many of them choose to use those days for some friendly competition. Ever since humans invented the internal combustion engine, people have asked, can we make it faster? It's the same at sea as it is on land. This is the 34th annual Harpswell lobster boat races. In the summer, lobstermen aren't allowed to haul traps on Sundays. So, what are they to do?
You'll hear a lot of that.
As the races began,
And did you want a receipt?
No, I don't need it.
merch tents on land and in the harbor were the most popular spots of the day. Even the Coast Guard stopped by.
Let me see the hoodie.
Do you want anything else?
I like to volunteer. I like to volunteer too, it's fun. At least one day of the year, I like to do something good for other people.
All of the money made here benefits the Harpswell Santa Fund. In 1991, local lobsterman Louis Ward Jr. died when he got tangled in his gear and pulled overboard. His fellow fishermen joined together to give the family a Christmas that year. Since then, the Santa Fund collects donations to help as many families as it can.
Last year alone, the lobster boat races donated $30,000 to us. With that money, we do heating assistance, food assistance, holiday gifts for the children.
The Harpswell races fell in the middle of a summer-long circuit in harbors along the Maine coast. Hard-working folk drag racing their boats
Look over this way.
for a little money, but mostly bragging rights.
Have a little friendly competition, probably little side wagers here and there.
Some of these boats will head back out Monday morning to work. Others are a bit beyond stock.
Those are what you call custom boats, that they make the super duper jazzed up loud engines that I'm sure all their neighbors love.
A pricey hobby and a pricey profession.
How much money do some of these people put into these boats?
They're mortgages. That's what they are. They're like their on the water houses.
You're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for a new lobster boat, with untold modifications put into the racing vessels.
Who inspects the boats?
Nobody. It's an on your honor thing. A fisherman would never lie, right? Never.
Itching to feel some diesel power, I climbed aboard the boat Guilty Pleasure and held on for dear life. Captain Jake Dugas assured me she was mostly stock as we rocketed to a third-place finish.
As far as race day, I mean, there's nothing like it, really. It's just exciting. A lot of work goes into it, and it costs a lot of money, but it's a lot of fun.
Like lobstering often is, the races are a family affair.
My husband and my son are racing.
Kelly Noyes wanted nothing more than to be a mascot and watch her boys compete.
Do you think this is ridiculous at all?
Absolutely not.
Why?
My husband has been doing this since he was 8 years old and was allowed to race his little skiff.
Her husband, David, had just lost to their son, Jacob, and couldn't be happier.
What is it like out there when you're racing and bouncing around in this thing?
It's choppy. It's choppy. We go about between 45 and 52 miles an hour. It's cranking.
Why do you do it?
Because it's fun.
Bye.
Once a year, this is where the present and future of the fishery meet.
Hammer down, buddy. Keep going. Keep going.
So who is that?
It's my son, Quinn Feeney, and my daughter, Rye.
From our float, Mitch Feeney watched on, a proud father to a 15-year-old lobstering son, the first lobsterman in the family.
He's first generation?
First generation, yep.
Why?
He loves it. We had a recreational license, and he fell in love with it, started fishing with our neighbor. And yeah!
Maine's working waterfront is shrinking.
Baby's first boat race.
But we're reminded this iconic industry remains loud and proud.
Now, as far as money raised at this year's races for the Santa Fund, I wish I had a grand total for you right now, but they were still selling merch as of last night. They hoped to, if they could break last year's total of 30,000 plus, they said they'd be ecstatic. The next races are in Winter Harbor, August 8th, and then to Pemaquid, Long Island, and finally rolling into Portland on the 16th.
Speaking of merch, that was one of my favorite things of the story is the Coast Guard guys who are coming in and buying the merch.
I made a joke. I was like, oh, the fun police are here. And then they were like, sweatshirt, T-shirt, hat. Let's get everything.
And then my other favorite element was the dog, the retriever behind the wheelhouse. Serenity exemplified.
When that captain put the hammer down, his emotion, his state was unchanged, that dog. He was in bliss.